Hello everybody, my name is Antonia Toneva and I'll be your host for today. Welcome to the presentation Advanced Excel for Analytics, and our speaker is Mr. Prashant Stevens. If you have any questions during the session, feel free to type them in the chat box below. Mr. Prashant will get back to them right after his presentation. For now, that's all from me, and the floor is yours, Prashant.
Yeah, thank you, Antonio, and welcome all the participants for today's session. Before we start, I would just like to introduce myself. I'm Prashant Stevens, and I come, I have 12 plus years of experience into HR, trainings, and organizational development. I've worked in different sectors, and it gives me a great pleasure to take you through with the advanced Excel for business analytics session. So I welcome you all for this session, and I would always expect that the participants would participate in the session. You can ask questions. We have the remaining last 10-15 minutes for Q&A round, so you can type in your responses, or if you have any questions, please do ask. And I'll also help you understanding how this course is designed and how you can benefit from this course. So without further ado, I'd like to start with today's session. So what we are going to cover is all about Excel, because Excel is one of the most important, I would say, a kind of application or tool of Microsoft Office. We all know that that is Microsoft has launched MS 365, and it's a very unique application. We have lot of tools which we can use for making our work more effective, and Excel is one of them. So Excel is, we are going to discuss about what is Excel, why we should learn Excel. Many people have that myth, oh, Excel, I can't, it's not my cup of tea and all that. But I will tell you, it's really easy, fun, and interesting to learn Excel. There are many things which you can unleash and explore by using Excel and make your work more easy and dynamic. Then we have, we'll be discussing few tools which are commonly used in Excel that really automates your work, that really gives a lot of flavor to your data and the way you present your data, right? Then we are going to understand different concepts in Excel, formulas, which are, I would say, the kind of building blocks of Excel, and the visualizations, of course, and the job opportunities which we have in today's dynamic world, right? So this is the agenda for today. You're most welcome to ask questions. I would always request that please keep your questions sparked, so that once I'm done, you can share your ideas or you can ask questions for the same. I'll also give you a short demo I've prepared for you to understand. I know most of you must be familiar with Excel, but just to give you a walkthrough on what we have discussed or what I have discussed with you, just to give a kind of an understanding what Excel is all about. And those of you who are new to Excel or they might have heard about Excel, don't worry, Excel is for everyone, and it helps you to develop your analytical skills to a great extent. Okay, fine. So what is Excel? Like, in simple terms, it's a part of Microsoft Office 365. Earlier, it was not that, because again, it was said that it is Microsoft Office suite. Okay, so there are many applications other than Excel. Like we have the Word, the PowerPoint, then Access, Outlook, so many applications are there, and it all comes under the umbrella of MS Office 365. Okay, and you can get the business package, and it has loads of features. You even have the Microsoft Teams in that. So it's a complete package, and it's just a part of that Microsoft Office 365 suite. Now, MS Office is also, Excel is also known as spreadsheet. Now, why it is called as spreadsheet, we are going to understand that because it's like, you can capture millions and millions of information, data in a given Excel sheet. So that makes your work more easy. And I would say that Excel is a kind of a database wherein you can store data in tabular form. Those of you who are aware of structured query language or SQL functionality, they must be aware of, yes, Excel is one of the most reliable database which is available. Like, other than other databases which are there, Excel is the most preferred database because it presents the data or stores the data in a tabular format, in a structured format, and which is easy to retrieve as well. Now, the data, as I told, it gets captured in a tabular format. You can identify various relationships within the data, and that helps you to draw inferences from your data. It is used for various analytical, statistical, and mathematical calculations. So there are thousands and thousands of formulas in Excel which can be used. Now, I've personally been using Excel for more than 10 years, but to be very honest, I would still say that I'm still a learner in Excel, because it's like every time Microsoft keeps adding new tools, new formulas, new methodologies in Excel. So that makes your work more dynamic. That it makes it as if it's like we have still unexplored Excel. So there is a lot of upgradation which takes place, which happens every 6 months, 1 year down the line from Microsoft. Then Excel has loads of functionality to even perform complex analytics. Okay, now I would say Excel is a platform wherein you can launch yourself to different level of data analytics. In today's world, we all discuss about data analytics, artificial intelligence. So Excel is the primary platform which helps you to develop algorithms, which helps you to develop a lot of statistical calculations and equations, which can be used in different ways to create charts, visualization, correlations, and things like that. So there are a lot of inbuilt formulas in that. And most importantly, it is used across the globe. So Excel is nothing like, okay, you have to be, it is the basic thing. And even today, employers, they expect the employees or the graduates to have at least basic knowledge of Excel. Okay, so that is about Excel, and I think that I've just spoken an ounce of information to you, but there are a lot of things which you can talk about Excel. Then, why should we learn Excel? Now that's a very important question, and the reason is very obvious, because it is an industry software. It's a standard practice everywhere. Even if you go to a big giant tech company like Google, Microsoft, obviously it's a Microsoft product, so undoubtedly it is used in that company as well. But even in mid-sized companies, startups, the data is stored in Excel. So that's, you have a lot of safety features in Excel wherein you can apply passwords, you can secure your data. So that's the most reliable feature of Excel, right? So no one can actually manipulate with your data unless you allow them, right? So if you're dealing with confidential information, there are a lot of Excel features which helps you to secure your data. Even when you are sharing your, as I told you, like collaboration is one of the major advantages of Excel. You can share your Excel file easily. It can be shared through various platforms, like you can share it through Microsoft Teams, you can share it through Outlook, and so many, can email anyone, you can send a WhatsApp. But the most important part is that it has inbuilt security feature. It helps you to boost your productivity, because the data is not only stored in a tabular format, but there are a lot of other tools which I would be discussing, like PowerPoint, Power Query, and all, which helps you to digest or you can say digest your data in such a way that you can break the information in chunks. And decision making is really an important aspect when it comes to Excel. And it is easily compatible with various business intelligence tools like Power BI, Tableau, and so on. So that's one thing which I told you, like, database as an Excel is very, very dynamic, agile, and flexible, right? It improves your work quality, because if you want to start mastering the art of Excel, right? Your work becomes quite automated. If you go to that extent of learning Visual Basics, which is the coding functionality of Excel, where you can do a bit of coding and you can automate your tasks, your work quality improves to that extent. You are not doing a daily mundane work, like you just do a typing work and all. You can instruct Excel and it does the work for you. So automation is also one of the best features of Excel, wherein you don't have to do the task again and again. You just do a sort of coding. Someone might be new to this coding and all. Okay, I am new to Excel. That's fine. But once you start exploring Excel, the Visual Basic feature of Excel is fair enough to do the work for you. So that automates your work, right? And it's all about number game, right? Businesses take decisions based on the data that you get, present to them, right? And Excel is the bare minimum way of presenting the data, right? You, many of you might not be well versed or exposed to the advanced databases or database management systems like SQL and MySQL and all those things. And there are many other databases like Access and all that. But Excel is one thing where anyone can read and interpret the data in an easy manner. Someone who has even not even touched the computer, or who is very new or novice to all these concepts, he or she can easily understand and interpret the information. That's how Excel is designed, right? Collaboration I've already discussed, and it's a very good platform for career growth. Someone who is really looking for making a career in HR, IT, or you can say data science or data engineer, having basic understanding of Excel, or I would say advanced level of Excel understanding, would definitely make your work quite easy, and it will help you to develop your analytical skills to that extent. Now, moving forward, the major tools which are used in Excel, or I would say these are kind of a building blocks of Excel. These are the functions which I told, and I would just give you a short demo on the different functions which are there in Excel, right? From statistical, logical, mathematical, and so on. Then we use Excel not only to store data, but also to present the data in a beautiful and structured manner. Now, as I told you, the data can be pulled out. You can even say that, the kind of functions Excel has, especially if you go to Power Query feature of Excel, it's a kind of a data mashup language, right? It's an engine wherein you can concise your data, you can condense your data, you can do a lot of rework on the data, you can restructure your data so that it looks quite clean and presentable when you're pulling data from a different source altogether. I'll also show you a short understanding on how I can even take data from a website and present a kind of a visualization to someone. Okay, and that makes it so easy. And that's where this feature of power pivot and power table comes into picture, right? So visualizations are one thing, but yes, pivot table is one thing wherein you can give a lot of agility and flexibility to your data. Maybe you're working on a big data, but you do not need the entire data for yourself, for your research, or for your visualizations, or for your presentation purpose. So what to do? You can't delete the entire stuff, or you can't just copy paste everything. It might take a lot of time. But one thing which is very sure, that the power pivot table feature of Excel, or the pivot table feature of Excel, can do magic for your work. Okay, so you can just customize, you can just drag, pull whatever row, column you require, and that's what it does for you. So that's really one of the dynamic features of Excel. Conditional formatting and data validation rules are these are again wonderful features of Excel, wherein you can highlight certain information instantly. You don't have to go through the entire data and do manual work. You just give certain logical instructions to the tool which is there, like the conditional formatting, and it instantly highlights. Maybe you want to highlight duplicate values. Maybe you want to highlight certain values which are above certain benchmark. So that can be done easily within a spur of a moment. And that's how Excel has so much of capabilities within itself. Data analysis is one of the major functionality of Excel, one of the major functionalities. So what exactly we mean by data analysis? We study different models of data. Maybe we have pulled data from different sources. We do an analysis. We want to do a complete understanding. So that's where Excel comes into picture. So a lot of features which we discussed, I discussed few features in my previous session or of Power BI, but Excel remains the basic of core application where all these things can be done at a very grassroots level, right? And that's where Excel is very handy. Then the different concepts in Excel. Now, as a beginner or as a learner, you should be aware of what are the different terminologies which we use in Excel. We use workbook, we use a spreadsheet, or we use so many other languages. We use so many naming conventions for Excel. But workbook is something. It's like collection of worksheet. I'll just show you a kind of live demo on what exactly I mean. Okay, so I'll just share my screen and I'll make you understand what exactly I'm trying to tell. Okay, fine. So I hope you're able to see my screen. Now this is primarily, it's a kind of a data which I just pulled out from a website, but this is what the ribbon which I was just trying to tell in the presentation. So this is a ribbon primarily. So this is the title bar, and then you have the different uh, menus. You can say this is a menu bar. Every menu will have different tools. So this is a toolbar primarily, and this is a function bar, right? So whatever you type in Excel, it gets displayed over here, right? So even if you select any cell, the value of it would be displayed here, and the cell address would be in this name box. So there are different menus of available for you, and you can even customize. Like I have created my own custom menu bar, wherein if I want to do any kind of calculations, or I want to use any kind of tools, I've customized my menu bar as per my requirement. So there are like loads of formulas which are there, like the sum formula, which has like sum average functionality. Then we have the financial formulas. Okay, then we have the logical formulas. Generally we use for any kind of to give any kind of condition, or one condition satisfied, okay, execute this result, and so on. So there are a lot of things which are there in Excel, which are easily available, and it guides the user whenever you are applying any kind of formula. It gives you a basic understanding what the user needs to perform, or what operations needs to be performed. So that's the inbuilt intelligence of Excel. So you don't have to think, okay, if you're applying, let's say, for example, I want to take a simple, sum, right? So if I just type is equal to sum, let me do it down so that you can understand what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so here already they have calculated it. But if I just want to do over here, let's take, I want to calculate the sum over here. So equal to sum, if I just type, everything starts with equal to. Whenever you're applying a formula in Excel, it starts with equal to. So let's say I want to add all the values. So if I just select this function by pressing tab, it tells the user like what needs to be done. So it says add number 1, number 2, and all. So I don't have to just keep doing it manually. If I just drag all the values, if I drag it from top to bottom, it incorporates everything into the system within that bracket, and it gives me this cell reference, as in the values which you have selected are from N6 to N231. And if I just close the bracket, it gives me the same value. So that's how I do a sum. Now this is just to give you an understanding what Excel is capable of doing, right? So this is one of the features of Excel. So there are different tools which are used, and all these things like the cell. It's basically why it is called as a spreadsheet, because it's a conglomeration, or it's like where rows and column meet. It is called as a cell. So we have different rows from 8. It goes on and on. There are almost 16,000 plus columns, and there are more than 1 million rows in a single spreadsheet, right? So these things are nothing but they are called as sheet. So by default, it is always sheet 1. And every cell has unique address wherein you can easily understand, okay, you can retrieve, okay, this values belongs to this cell address. And that's how Excel works. It's very easy. Maybe initially you might find it slightly difficult, but it's very easy. And that's what Excel is all about. Then there are different formulas in Excel, wherein I just mentioned the logical formulas we use in Excel, like the if function and or to work on any condition. Like you as a user, you as an Excel user, an expert, you can define conditions for yourself. Let's say, for example, you want to do some calculation, you want to derive certain results. So you can give certain conditional statements, especially the basic thing starts from if. If means if anything is satisfied, give me value as true or else false. So that's how the formulas are designed. Then we have the text formulas in Excel, which helps you to do certain kind of indentation, alignment, or if you want to convert the text from small to uppercase or uppercase to lowercase, and a lot of things. You want to reduce or condense the spaces, or you want to join the text. So there are text formulas in that. So everything is designed, thought, for the users so that the work becomes very easy for us. Then we have the financial formulas. Now these are the formulas like if you want to do a kind of a high level of calculation, like maybe you want to calculate your EMI, or you want to do any kind of financial calculations, the financial formulas are there. Mathematical formulas are the simple ones like the sum, some functions are there, average is there, and so many other functions are there. Like, you can just keep thinking and you have the mathematical formula. So I'll just give you an overview what type of formulas which are used in Excel so that you can get an idea of it. So if I go to the logical formula section, so you have the and, false, if, error, not, switch, and all. So most commonly used ones are the if and in combination with or and, which goes as a nested function in Excel. Then we have the text formulas, like we have the concatenate, then we have the left, len, to calculate the length or the number of characters or text in a given cell. And there are various other features which you can do. So the formulas are quite extensive. You can't really use all the formulas, but yes, based on your requirement, if you are having a fair understanding of which formula I should use, you are able to understand and retrieve the functionality within that. So it guides the user every time whenever you're using the Excel functionality. Then, as I told you, there are more functions in Excel, like the statistical ones, like you can calculate average, mean, median, so many other advanced level of statistical functionalities you can do it, right? So the list is on them. If you want to calculate instantly, give me the maximum value in a given data, it does it for you. Then we have some engineering functions, which still I think I haven't used any of these, but those who are engineers and those who want to do some high level of calculations, you can use these functions. And there are a lot of other functions, right? So it's loaded with functions. There are date functions if you want to ensure that if you want to have a kind of a date which keeps updating itself every day, whenever you want to open the Excel workbook, the date needs to be updated. You don't have to do it manually. There's a function called as today. So if you just apply a today function, it will give you a date. Like for example, if I just want to say that I want to ensure that whenever I open my Excel, I should get this date updated. So it shows now it's 8th May, right? So tomorrow, if I open this worksheet, it will have a different date, maybe 9th May or 10th May. So that's how it keeps updating by itself. So it basically makes your work easy as a user, right? So that's where the functionality of Excel makes it very easy and powerful for us to use the Excel, as a database and store and retrieve information at any point of time. Then moving forward, we have different visualizations, which I just wanted to show you different visualizations which I have created, especially the bar charts, column charts, pie chart. Now, these are the very basic ones which we can use to present our data, although there are a lot of other visualizations which are there in Excel. But based on your data set, based on your data, which visualization you feel is best, you can choose. But Excel also recommends according to the data set, right? So I'll just give you a short demo on how I have created it and how it can make your work easy and how lively your data becomes. Let's say, for example, I have created a kind of a visualization. I had this data. I hope you're able to see my screen. So this was basically a data, segment wise. I wanted to, there are different countries, there are different segments. Then I have the net sales, net profits, and obviously the date of sale. Now, looking at this data, it looks quite claustrophobic and it looks very cumbersome. Can't really interpret what's going on, right? And I don't want to just go with the basic filtering options and just to take the inferences from the data. But if I go to visuals, this makes my work very easy and very clear. Even if I'm presenting a report to my management, or if I want to just pick up the slide and present it on my PPT or PowerPoint presentation, it still works for me, right? Now, I have created a kind of a pivot table. Now, as I told you, pivot table is nothing but it's like, you can just customize your data. Now, whenever you're preparing a pivot table, you just have to select the data, you go to Insert tab, and you just apply the pivot functionality. So if you just click over here, it helps you to create your own pivot table. Now, pivot table is primarily, now look at the chunk of information you have over here. It goes like, maybe 100 plus rows, right? But the functionality of Excel as a pivot is very powerful because you can just create dynamic charts according to your requirement. Now, if I just go and see the pivot field, if I just go and see the pivot field, all the information is, taken in this pivot table, or this, it has all the information from the data, the main data. But I have chosen whatever I require. So the dynamic functionality of pivot table helps me to customize and present my data according to my requirements. I don't have to rely completely on the main data or the main source. And by creating pivot table, I can just pull out data according to my requirements. I just wanted to say, for example, I wanted to see the channel-wise performance and the sales. So I just created a kind of a basic pie chart, which helps me to understand how the data is presented. Someone who doesn't like to really go through the information in number form, maybe visuals work for them. And it is easy for us to analyze and consider what all factors are going in the right direction or something which needs to be taken into consideration on real-time basis. Now, if I click on this, now information is not visible, but if I just click on, or change the visual effects, let's say if I click on this chart, it gives me sector-wise distribution of sales, and that also in the percentage format. Now, for me, it is easy to interpret or understand which segment is performing good. Now, it clearly shows that government is performing or giving me good returns, and I have to focus more on this segment, or rather, as a company or as a decision maker, my work is now I want to invest more into this segment, maybe because it is giving me great returns. Now, which is the segment which is least performing segment is the channel partners. Maybe my cost is going huge in this segment, and the returns which I'm getting is minimal, and that's the reason I cannot invest a lot into this segment. So this visualization is very easy. If you just consider these numbers, maybe people are not really good at numbers and don't want to really refer to the numbers. And that's where visualizations come into picture. And if I go down, I can close this. Obviously, I can get back the pivot fields. I have also created a different kind of a line chart based on a different data. Now, here are the different countries, and I have plotted the sales and the profit on a line chart. And here also I have changed the feel and effect based on the power brush option, so that it gives a good appeal to the viewer, right? And here I've created a kind of a slicers, so that in case if I want to just do a comparative analysis, let's say I want to compare government and mid segment. Okay, I'll just have to click first. So by pressing control button, I can just do a comparative analysis. In comparison to this, okay, government segment is this. I can keep adding fields, so it gives a complete analysis and helps me to do a kind of on different segments, so I can easily understand. Even I have added the date slicer, so in case if I just want to reduce few months, maybe I just want to take the first few quarter, so this data gets presented in a different way. So this functionality helps us to take decisions appropriately, and you can visualize, because it's always said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So you can easily understand, and this gets stored in your memory that okay, it's just the 61%, which is the highest person which is getting contributed from the government segment, and that's how I am able to take decisions. And this functionality, there are a lot of other functionalities. You can see the different type of visualizations. I just have to click somewhere else. Okay, so there are different visualizations which you can choose from, right? Yeah, there are like you have the histogram or the column charts. You have different ones, so you can based on the kind of like, let's see, if the data you can present in different format. You have the funnel chart, you have something like, if I click on funnel chart, let me see, it says it can't present the data because the data has to be in that format. So if I present this in the column chart, it will give me a different look and feel. So it's no more a pie chart, but it's now presenting the data in a column chart. So there are like the kind of agility that you get by using the functionality of Excel. It's tremendous. So as a beginner and having minimal knowledge into analysis or visualizations or creating any kind of such visual effects, Excel would be the great kick for your career. Okay, with the help of Excel, you can really grow and do a lot of additions to your learning patterns, because there are many advanced analytical tools which are available in the market, but Excel still has its own place in the market. And make you understand the simple aspects which you can understand with the help of Excel, the visualizations, the formulas, and things like that. Okay, so moving forward, there's a great demand for Excel even today. So it's been like more than 20-30 years Excel is in business. So it was, I think, 93 when MS Office was launched, but since then there have been a lot of additions and lot of changes, upgradations in Microsoft Office suites, and Excel is one of them. Excel keeps adding, like Microsoft keeps adding a lot of functions in Excel. A lot of new functions are being added every year, which makes your work very easy. Visualizations, which I showed, were not earlier in previous one. So this is the 2016 version which I'm using, and the latest one is 2019, which still has more additions to the functionality, the functions, the visualizations pattern, and all. So as a user, if you keep upgrading, you're still getting exposed to the new versions of Excel or MS Suite. Okay, so if you see globally, the demand is surging up. There's a great spike in the demand of for Excel across the globe, right? And if you say the big data market will generate almost what's the figure? $103 billion. $103 billion. So it's a big business, right? So data, every company today talks about data, business analytics, big data, and all. And Excel is the foundation for everything. You can take huge chunks of data and you can dump it in an Excel file, and that still works for you a lot, right? And even if you see, this is the latest. I've just taken I've taken a kind of data from Google Trends. Okay, this shows the pattern for the demand and kind of search which was there for Excel. And this is primarily worldwide basis. It's not for only a single country, but it's for worldwide, like across the globe, how the demand is growing or booming up even today for Excel. So this is how I've just tried to give you a kind of an understanding. You can do it by yourself. If you can just type in Google, trends, and you can just take it a kind of an understanding of how Excel or any other tools which you want to learn has a demand across the globe, right? And you will get the kind of response that how people are searching for this tool. And this is based on the past 12 months data across the globe. Okay, it includes job and education, web search, and all those, variables, or you can say people might have searched Excel for different purposes. But then this still has, there was a dip earlier, later on, like, maybe in the month of uh, Jan or Feb 2020, but still it has caught up again. So as I would say, learning Excel is not a choice. It's a compulsion. It should be, as a user, maybe even if you're not into technical, or maybe you're not into any sort of such functionality, but having understanding of Excel is a kind of must, I would say, right? And that's what makes your work easy. So finally, I'll just like to say that MS Excel is loaded with functionality. There are a lot of things. Many people have a myth that, okay, Excel is just used to store data, just do my minor calculations. It's not like that. A lot of things which you can do with the help of Excel. So it has inbuilt intelligence which guides the user to perform complex tasks, which I just showed you with a very basic example of applying a formula. It guides the user. You don't have to really think or scratch your brains. And that makes your work easy. It guides the user how you need to apply the function, what all things goes on, right? And you can use database, like Excel as a database, right? You can store a lot of data into it. There's no limit of storing data. As I told you, like millions of data can be stored. So in an Excel file, almost there are more than 1 million rows and more than 16,000 columns. You can just imagine the capacity it has in only one Excel sheet. Maybe I can just imagine, can keep adding many Excel sheets. You can keep, loading and loading a lot of data into it, right? It is easily compatible with other BI tools, which I just mentioned, like Power BI is there, Informatica is there, Tableau is there, Qlik is there, and so many other, uh, platforms. You can easily, you can share the file, you can collaborate with different users across the globe and within your enterprise as well. And obviously, it has an inbuilt, security feature because it's a Microsoft product, so you don't have to really, be scared enough and all that stuff. Obviously, you have to follow certain protocols and make sure that your file is secured. You apply the passwords. Do not share the passwords with anyone unless it's really important. So that's how you can secure and maintain your data. And many companies are still doing that. And learning Excel is complete fun. I found it very easy. I found it really interesting. Once you dive into Excel, there's no limit to learn Excel. Every day you open an Excel file, you have something new to explore, maybe a new challenge to explore. So that's how Excel is designed. So with this, I end my presentation. And how this course is going to be is just, will give you a glimpse of how the course would be designed. It's a completely practical course. There's not going to be any PPT, and it's just going to be an interactive one. And that's how I believe in doing it. So I'll be sharing you the sample files, and along with me, you will be practicing. Any questions there and there itself can ask and can get it resolved. So don't have to wait till the end of the session. So we are basically, whenever I teach Excel, it's like my students do it with me, on the other side, even if it's on the virtual platform. We have a lot of real-time examples. So that definitely maybe something may resonate with your, field or the work that you're doing. So you have that kind of leverage which you can take. It's going to be an interactive sessions. Obviously, it's not going to be one-way communication, and surely it's going to help you to develop your logical thinking, right? And yeah, so Dash, the price and all, would you can get in touch with MBS Academy. They would guide you. I won't be the right person to tell you about this, but any questions, you can just let me know, and I'll just quickly launch the poll of today's session. So I know it's been like you've been listening to me for almost 30 plus minutes. I hope you enjoyed the session, and if you have any questions, please do type it in the chat box. I'll just quickly launch the poll just to get a quick feedback from you, as in how did you find the session? Was it meaningful? Was it something that you are looking out for? Just share your feedback. I hope the poll results are there. Like, you can just share your feedback.
So please write your answers in the chat box, and we can see what you think about today's session.
Yeah. So students, if you have any questions you'd like to ask, please feel free to ask. So you can share your inquiries or anything on the email ID which is mentioned over here, enquiries@mbas-academy.com, and you can follow us on the website. We have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we are there on all these social media platforms. So please feel free to connect with us at any point of time. So if you have any questions, please type it in the chat box. I'm done from my side. And thanks for your valuable time. All of you have shared your valuable time. It's been like, it's a Saturday, and like having your weekly off, and you want to just enjoy, but I still appreciate and thank you for showing your interest in learning something, which is very important, right? So if you just have any questions, please get back to us. If you do not have right now, it's fine. You can get back to us. You can write to us. You can follow us on various platforms on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and all, and you can get maximum information. Antonia would be the right person. She can give you the details about the course, fees, and all. Over to you, Antonia.
I thank you, Prashant, for being with us today and sharing all of the expertise. And again, thank you so much to everybody for your time. Contact us for any public and in-house training, and we can customize any of them for your company's specific needs. And the same how Prashant says, please visit our website for more courses, and don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube for more digital technology insights. Have a good day. I'm looking forward to seeing you at our next session. Bye.